Good morning, everyone. Today I'll talk about Ahmet Davutoğlu's strategic debts doctrine, an idea that significantly reshaped Turkish foreign policy in 2000s. The term strategic debts comes from Davutoğlu's book Stratejic Derinlik, Türkiye'nin uluslararası konumu. It is both an academic theory and the political framework that later guided Turkey's foreign policy when Davutoğlu served as foreign minister and prime minister. Who is Ahmet Davutoğlu? Ahmet Davutoğlu was born in 1959 in Konya. He is a political scientist, former university professor of international relations, and later permanent statesman. Before entering politics, he taught at Beijing University and Marmara University, publishing widely on international relations and geopolitics. His academic background is crucial because strategic debts originated as scholarly work, not a political slogan. When the Justice and Development Party came to power, Davutoğlu became one of its main foreign policy intellectuals. His combination of academic theory and political practice gave Turkish diplomacy a new sense of mission and confidence. What is strategic debts? Strategic debts is a political argument. Davutoğlu claimed that Turkey's power comes not only from its military or economy, but from its historical and geographic depth. Turkey's historical breadth, Ottoman legacy, geographical position, civilizational links give it unique leverage in regional systems. So instead of passively aligning with Western powers, Turkey should pursue an active multidimensional foreign policy. Book structure. The book itself is extensive, around 584 pages, first published by Küre Yayınları in 2001. It combines international relations theory, Ottoman and Turkish history, geopolitics, and civilizational analysis. Davutoğlu develops that he calls a civilizational approach, the belief that states draw strength from the historical and cultural systems they belong to. Key policy prescriptions. From this theory, Davutoğlu proposed three major strategies. First, regional engagement. Turkey should deepen relations with all its neighbors rather than depend on only US or Europe. Second, soft power and economic networks. Cultural diplomacy, trade agreements, and humanitarian aid should project Turkey's influence peacefully. Mediation and multilateralism. Third one, Turkey could act as a regional problem solver, balancing rivalries through diplomacy. These principles inspired the well-known slogan Zero Problems with Neighbors. It aimed to build trust with surrounding countries after decades of regional tensions. From idea to practice. When Ahmet Davutoğlu became Turkey's foreign minister in 2009, he finally had the chance to apply these ideas he had developed in his book Strategic Debts. He began transforming Turkey's diplomacy into what he called multi-regional engagement. Turkey opened dozens of new embassies, especially across Africa, signaling a more global vision. Turkish Airlines expanded its flight network to new destinations, physically connecting Turkey to emerging markets. Agencies such as TİK and the Yunus Emre Institutes promoted Turkish aid, culture, and language abroad, all examples of soft power diplomacy. In the Middle East, Ankara strengthened ties with Syria, Iran, Iraq, and even mediated indirect Israel-Syria talks in 2008. By 2011, Turkey's trade with its neighbors had rolling quadrupled compared with 2002. The country was widely viewed as a rising diplomatic actor in a model of political stability in the Muslim world. It inspired scholarship and policy debates about homegrown IR concepts from Turkey. This success was short-lived. After the Arab Spring and Syrian civil war, the zero problems with neighbors vision became nearly impossible to maintain. Turkey's relations with Syria and Egypt collapsed, and regional polarization deepened. This period revealed the limits of strategic depth and reminder that theory can guide ambition but cannot control events. Critiques and contradictions. Of course, strategic depth was drawn strong criticism. Some observers describe it as neo-Ottomanist, arguing that it looks nostalgically toward the Ottoman Empire and seeks influence over former imperial lands. Others claim it was too ambitious, that Turkey tried to lead the Middle East, the Balkans, Caucasus, and Africa at once, stretching its diplomatic and economic capacity. Maintaining a careful balance between US and EU and Russia, while also engaging Iran and Arab states, often produced contradictions. For example, supporting popular uprising during the Arab Spring pleased some audience but aligned traditional parties like Saudi Arabia. After 1211, the Syrian war destroyed years of careful diplomacy. Refugees, terrorism, and border insecurity replaced the earlier optimism. The government went from celebrating zero problems to facing problems on almost every border. Many critics argue that it was not only ideological error, but the capacity mismatch. The doctrine's broad vision simply exceeded the Turkey could realistically sustain. Why it mattered? Yet, even with its contradictions, strategic depth remains one of the most influential ideas in modern Turkish foreign policy thinking. It reframed the national conversation. Instead of seeing Turkey merely as a bridge between East and West, Davutoğlu described it as a central power capable of shaping events across multiple regions. This mindset made Turkish diplomacy more assertive, proactive, and independent, especially in the 2000s. Even after Davutoğlu left government in 2016, many of his core ideas, regional activism, economic outreach, and the use of cultural soft power, continued to influence Ankara's strategy. In this sense, strategic depth changed not only how other countries perceived Turkey, but also how Turkey perceived itself. To conclude, Ahmet Davutoğlu's strategic depth stands as one of the most ambitious attempts to turn academic theory into a national foreign policy framework. It redefined how Turkey saw its place in the world, as I said, not merely as a bridge between the East and West, but as a central power with the historical and cultural depth to shape its neighborhood. That's really interesting. Davutoğlu wrote the book when he was still a university professor, and it was over 580 pages long. Hardly the kind of text you'd expect to inspire actual government policy. Yet, within the decade, the phrase strategic debts appeared in official speeches, party manifestos, and even parliamentary debates. A rare case where scholarly ideas became part of everyday political language. The experience also revealed a deeper truth about international politics. Ideas matter, but they meet resistance from power realities, wars, rivalries, and domestic limits. Thank you for your attention and stay curious.